Hey guys, it's your girl Rachel Real and I'm back with another video. So make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and turn on your post notifications because I have new videos every single week. So if you were like me, you associated being single with being lonely, being unhappy, just you're doing something wrong. But I'm here to tell you that is not the truth. You can be single and happy, okay? Love is beautiful. It's amazing. I aspire to get there one day myself, but love is just not knocking down the door right now. So don't feel ashamed because you're single or something wrong with you, because since we in the same boat, I'm with you. You're single because you're single. It's just the season that you're in right now. But I'm gonna help you guys to enjoy that season and to be productive so that when that next relationship comes, you're gonna be ready. So the first thing that I had to learn was that I have to be happy with myself in order to be happy with anybody else. So I couldn't wait for Prince Charming to come and then all of a sudden my gloomy life was gonna be full of joy and brightness and happiness. It's just not true. Because sometimes people come into your life and all they bring is headaches and stress, okay? So the first thing that I had to do was I had to start taking care of myself for myself. So I didn't always put on makeup or do my hair around the house. Sometimes I would let things get really out of control. I used to only do certain things like putting on makeup or shaving my legs or keeping my nails done if there was somebody to impress or somebody in my life. Don't just do things to impress somebody else. Do it for yourself so that you can always feel confident about yourself. I put on makeup for myself. I do my hair for myself because when somebody comes into my life, they can't impose upon me what they want me to look like, because this is what you signed up for, okay? By taking care of your hair, skin, nails, that's you saying I love you to yourself. You don't have to do it just because some guy is gonna be there or some girl is gonna be there. You should do it for you. The next thing that I had to do was spend time with myself. So yes, when you're single, most of the time that you spend is by yourself. But I'm here to tell you, you might be doing it wrong. If every time you're alone, you go and take a nap, or you go and FaceTime somebody, that may be a sign that you're scared to actually be alone and be by yourself. Listen, if you have the fear of being alone, I challenge you that next time you're alone and it's completely quiet, just spend time with yourself, do things that you like to do so that you can get used to it. When you get in a relationship, or if you're already in a relationship, you still need to do this step, because there's gonna come a day where your partner is gonna wanna go with their friends. It's a myth that if you get into a relationship, you're never gonna be alone. That's a myth. People have girls' nights out and guys' nights out and business trips, and there's gonna come a time where you're gonna be in the house alone. And you don't wanna be the type of partner who's kicking and screaming every time their partner leaves them, instead of like blowing up their phone and being like, where you at, where you at, where you at? You can be comfortable being by yourself because you've already practiced this when you were single. Watch your favorite movies and be knee deep in some popcorn and wait for them to get home. So another thing that I do that really has helped me is I have spent time to heal from my past relationships. A lot of times it's tempting to hop right into something else because you don't want to deal with what just happened. You just got out of a situation, you're probably angry, confused, maybe you're embarrassed, maybe you're sad. So the way that I do it is I allow myself to feel those emotions. Sometimes you just be like, oh, he's just so stupid. But you're watching the news and you're like, oh, sorry guys. Like, it can be so frustrating. So allow yourself to go through that process. And then once some time has gone by and those feelings are less intense, you should reflect. When you reflect, think about the highlights and the lowlights, because if you do too much of one or the other, you're not really getting a clear view. I mean, go through all the questions. What attracted you to them in the first place? What went wrong? What went right? What did you allow them to do that you wish you didn't? What are some of the things that they may have needed from you that you couldn't give? These are the types of questions that led me to true healing. So eventually I got to a place where I could just say, that person couldn't love me the way I needed to be loved in that time. It wasn't about, oh, he did this, and I came to peace with it. It doesn't matter if you tell them or not. That's about you coming to peace with the situation and thinking about what you can learn from it and what you can do better for the next relationship. So here's a step that's really special to me, because this is something that I've done myself, and you know, there's proof that the guys will tell you. I got to have some pretty dope conversations with exes and people that I've come across, and I was able to forgive them. So forgiveness is a huge step. You just got to put into perspective that you're not forgiving them for them to make their life easier. You're forgiving them for yourself because it can give you peace at the end of the day. You don't have to excuse what they did or blame yourself, but just saying, I acknowledge your missteps. I forgive you that you were not able to love me the way that I needed to be loved. And I'm okay. I don't think of you in a bad way, and I appreciate our time because it taught me a lot. I can tell you that was more satisfying than any petty thing I could have did. After those conversations, I was able to hear their name without getting angry. I was able to be in the same room with them and just say, hey, what's up? We didn't have to be besties, but it freed me from that experience. And so I would definitely recommend forgiveness. It's lit, guys. Now, guys, another thing you can do when you get out of a relationship is go find your friends, okay? Go find your friends. Because unless somehow you have like figured out the perfect balance in how to hang out with your partner and hang out with your friends, you probably neglected your friends a little bit. Let's be honest. As human beings, we have a tendency to go MIA when we get into a relationship. So if you feel like, oh dang, I used to hang out with the group all the time, now we're not as close, go get your friends. I can say for myself, having a strong friend group has helped me to kind of transition smoother through breakups and through hard times with guys, because I was like, I got my girls. They always gonna hold me down. Your friends are gonna be there through different relationships, and so make sure you're nurturing those relationships, okay? Because you're gonna need them. Okay, so I had to hit a new camera angle, but you still gonna get the rest of these tips. So step 6 is to build/rebuild your self-esteem. So if I'm honest, after relationships, my self-esteem would always plummet. You go from having somebody to not having somebody. Maybe the way that it ended left you feeling dejected. Maybe there was infidelity involved. So while you're single, make it your responsibility to build your self-esteem back up. And not only that, put boundaries around your self-esteem so that the next person can't do as much damage as the first person did, okay? Once you spend that time with yourself and learn your true worth and value, all your relationships should reflect that. And if people can't get with it, they gotta get lost, honey. So step 7 is to learn new skills. So these skills could range from new languages to learning how to cook, to learning how to manage your anger, or learning how to argue without hitting below the belt. These are all things that you can learn while you're single, so that when you go into a new relationship, your resume just looks amazing. Speaking of learning new things, learning your love language is so important, guys. So for anybody who doesn't know what a love language is how you express love and how you like to receive love. So if you go online, you can find a quiz right now and you can find out what your love languages are. So for me, my top 3 are quality time, words of affirmation, and physical touch. So I used to think like, oh, bet, I'll make sure my boyfriend knows that. But then I thought to myself, why can't I just use them on myself? So yes, it is great knowledge you can bring into a relationship, but you're in a relationship with yourself right now. So if your love language is receiving gifts, you can set up some packages on Amazon, schedule them for once a month, and then forget about them. And when they arrive, you can go, how did you know? So sweet. And then you feel loved and appreciated. Boom, period. So step 9 is optional. It's something fun that I threw in there because it's something that I like to do while I'm single. So after this video ends, I'm going to go in that back corner and I'm going to turn on some Janet Jackson or some Solange and I'm going to dance by myself. And I don't know what it is about it, but it just builds my self-esteem. Like, dancing by yourself, guys, can be so freeing. I told you that's optional. If you like, Rach, hey, you're losing me, I understand, but I'm gonna have a good time, okay? Step 10 is to wait on God. So for those of you who may not believe in God, I would say to you, trust whatever it is that tells you if a person is good or not, whether that's your intuition, maybe you trust your mom's advice on your relationships. But for me, God has been a huge part of my dating life. I have ended things with guys and they didn't even know God ended it first. Like, God was the one who told me like, hey, Rach, not for you. Because you ever seen that thing on Instagram that's like, God hears the conversations you don't hear. And so he knows the intentions of everyone and he knows his plan for you. So for me, I always trust that voice when God tells me to end things, because you never know if the person that you're holding on to could be delaying you from meeting that person that you're supposed to be with. Sometimes we forget to have God as the center of our relationships. So if you forgot to do that, take your relationship to God and see what he says. If you enjoyed this video, I hope you like, comment, send it to somebody that you think could use it. And until next week, guys, keep it real.